Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things AEW and WWE. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions on everything happening in the world of professional wrestling. Join us as we dive into the high octane action, dramatic storylines, and backstage buzz of AEW and WWE. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to the Top Tier Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Diamond Dallas Dawn, joined as always by my partner in podcast and crime, Josh Nash. Tonight, you can consider us your insiders on all things Friday Night SmackDown, so let's get into it. That's
Nice.
that's
Nice. Wait. Run it by me one more time. You're Diamond Dallas Dawn, and I'm Josh
yes,
Nash.
yes,
So DDP and Kevin Nash.
yes. The
And you said that's from the
insiders.
Wayback Machine? The Insiders. Oh, I love it. I
Yeah,
love it. That's fantastic.
man, that's like WCW.
Although, I mean, wouldn't that be Hall and Nash?
I don't know. I don't know if he was. I don't know because
The Outsiders were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and the NWO eventually grew to be damn near everybody.
yes, but the insiders was like 2000, 2001 for WCW, and then and even before that, I think they had I think DDP. What was it? I don't know. I can't remember what Kevin Nash's name was, but it was like Vegas something. Like we're talking about way back in the day.
Oh, that almost precedes it. What was it, Vinny Vegas?
I think, yeah, I think you got it. You would get that. Yeah. Oh, anyway, hi guys. Welcome to the Top Tier Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's going way back. Sorry, I got stuck on wrestling trivia. The
Yes.
Insiders. Oh, man. I thought you were making a pun about the Outsiders, but you're going way back to
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Nice. Nicely done. Well, there you go. So, this episode of WWE SmackDown is being brought from the Mullet Arena, business in the front, party in the back,
You love to
in
hear it.
Tempe, Arizona. You know Dom Mysterio does. And we open up the episode with Cody Rhodes running into Jimmy Uso at the beginning of the show in the backstage area. And Jimmy thanks Cody for having Jacob Fatu's back last week. And I'm thinking, yeah, I bet you he did. I bet you he had it stabbed right proper. But Jimmy says he's here to talk to Nick Aldis because he wants a fight with Drew McIntyre because he's convinced Drew McIntyre is guilty of it. Cody
Yeah.
says, well, I saw what happened. And he asked Jimmy if everything's good with him and his brother. And Jimmy said, well, I'm pissed.
Deflecting.
And yeah. And Cody says he understands where Jimmy's coming from. He also has a brother in the business. And he knows Jay is always going to do what's best for him, and Jimmy should do the same. And Jimmy appreciates that. But tonight he's here to deal with family business. And Cody says, well, all right, you go talk to Nick Aldis, and I'm going to go out and talk to the people. And then Cody Rhodes makes his way to the ring. Adrenaline in my soul. Something,
Something
Cody
Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes. Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. Um, I know that Cody has gone on record saying that he's not interested in a heel turn. That that's just not in the books for him or whatever, and blah blah blah. But I don't know, guys. I
That
can
sounds a lot
feel
like
it
something.
coming in the air tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that sounds like something somebody who's about to do a heel turn might say.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. Like, I'm just super saying because I'm noticing some things. First of all, the attack that was on Drew McIntyre last week, and it was a okay because we all see Drew as a quote unquote heel, so it was okay to attack him. But man, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but the initial attack that Cody the beat down that Cody put on this dude. And then the actual match where he just freaking straight up hits him in the face with the belt, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, cool, cool, cool," you know. And he kind of speaks to this. Drew speaks to this in this segment, right? So Cody comes out and he does his usual. Arizona, what do you want to talk about? And the audience loses their shit. Um, and then Drew starts to mention I'm sorry, not Drew, but Cody starts to mention Drew, which of course, biggity bacon bits, biggity bacon bits, biggity bacon,
Yeah.
right? So his his music cuts in
Biggity bacon.
bacon, bacon.
Biggity
And
bacon.
anyway, you guys know the song. Anyway, he comes out
They're gonna.
and
He needs to change his name to Big Bacon McIntyre.
he does. He should. But then he's gonna go total face if he does that. But like he comes out and he pretty much he says what I'm saying right now to you guys, which is um the audience is brainwashed apparently. You know, initially I think he said I think he said brainwashed. And basically whatever Cody does, we just accept and we go along with. And Drew says that he didn't attack Jacob. Now, I am inclined to believe him because what does Drew do whenever he attacks someone? He talks about it.
He takes
He
full credit. He'd be
brags
out there
about
going,
it.
"I sent that bitch to the hospital," or "Hey, I kicked in Cody Rhodes' skull." He's
Yes.
always proud of his work. He doesn't hide it.
And so now we have Drew up here, full on heel, but he's talking to Cody, and it almost sounds like he's trying to legit work out what the fuck happened, like who attacked Jacob, because he pretty much says, I was back there. He's like, what about Jimmy? Could it have been Jimmy? You know, and he goes down the list of or reasons why it could have been Jimmy. But it doesn't matter because Cody doesn't want to talk about this at all. Like
No.
it
He
comes
even
up
goes,
and he starts yelling enough, enough again. He
yeah, and this is after Drew had stated, "Look, I hate that family. Like, he is no friend of the bloodline, but he
yeah,
asserts that he's innocent."
yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. Cody flips out on him.
And even while he's trying to come up with some kind of reasonable answer, call him a heel or not, maybe he was doing it in a heel type way, but he's legit trying to come. He's talking. He's using his mouth. That Cody doesn't want to hear it, and in fact. Cody just goes into fight mode. He's like, let's just start off right where we ended last week. You're clearly looking for a fight. I'll fight you right here. I'll fight you right now. Let's just do this here and now. And I'm like, whoa. Well, but
Yeah.
before he can do that, Jimmy comes out and Jimmy goes on an attack of Drew. So this whole segment is just people just beating the shit out of Drew when Drew is still claiming that he's innocent. And I'm telling you, I tend to believe him because we can go back. And I know, guys, this is all kayfabe, but this is what I loved. I love talking about this shit in kayfabe, just like any other show that you like to watch. Okay, but I'm thinking that Cody is going on the distract, right? Because I mean, he was even coming out like in all black, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's a lot of like little things that all add up to this conclusion. I mean, the fact that Cody won't let Drew get 2 words out of his mouth when he starts talking about what's going on there.
Yeah,
Like Cody let him sit there and ramble on about like how I don't want your apologies, your excuses, Cody, blah blah blah. But the minute he starts talking about the elephant in the room, literally what he called it, who attacked Jacob Fatu, Cody's like, we ain't talking about that.
yeah,
So between Cody being like hyper defensive since the night of the attack, the match they had after, and here when Drew was trying to speak to it, like he doesn't want anybody looking too close at it,
yeah,
is the message it's sending me. You couple that with the fact that we saw some very heelish behavior out of Cody in that he, brutalized Drew one. So he's fighting with more brutality, like someone who maybe is guilty of something. And he clobbered him with the title belt.
yeah.
So we're getting all these signals that Cody is not squeaky clean here, and
Like
he
all
is
heel actions here, man.
the whole methinks thou doth protest too much is in play because Cody is so hyper responsive to wanting to just smack the taste out of Drew's mouth anytime he even mentions the attack on Jacob Fatu that it
Yeah,
makes me think Cody is in fact the one who did it. And his rationale would be simple. He knows he can beat Drew McIntyre and keep his belt. Jacob Fatu would probably tear him a new asshole, and he's afraid of him, so he attacked him. And Cody just
yeah,
got that belt back, so he's hungry for it. We're
yeah. I
seeing
mean,
that the belts tend to corrupt those who have had them or want them.
yeah.
Same
For
story is going on with Jay.
yep, for long periods of time, all of a sudden they just start getting all psycho. I mean, Jacob. I mean, not Jacob, but Jay didn't even have it that long. He is on a tear to get that belt back. So yeah, the plot
Yeah,
thickens, you
old
guys.
Roman J Jr.
Yeah, Roman J Jr. is right. Yeah, so Jimmy, the only thing that stopped that bit of storyline is that Jimmy came in and started attacking Drew. I wouldn't be surprised if both Jimmy and Cody were in on it, had like in together on some shit.
Well,
Um,
and I noticed that Cody didn't get in to help. Once Jimmy
yeah,
attacked, he
nope.
was placated. As long as Drew can't continue to try and make his
Yep.
case or pick holes in the story,
Yes. Now maybe we're digging too deep into it. I don't know. I don't think so. I
I
think
don't think so. I think
I
these are
I think
breadcrumbs of a consistent mystery
yeah,
that they want you to be able to draw this conclusion in retrospect. So when you look back on it, you're like, oh shit, it was there the whole time. How did I
yeah,
miss it?
yeah. So we'll see how this turns out, but yeah, that's pretty much how that segment closes with Jimmy just losing his shit, and then we end up coming out of commercial break, and Drew is arguing with Nick Aldis in the backstage area, uh and while he's doing that, Jimmy jumps McIntyre again from behind,
But
and then we got
I would like to point out that Drew makes a relatively salient point to Nick Aldis. He says to Nick, "You would have never put me in a WWE Championship match if you felt I was guilty of attacking Jacob Fatu last week." So that lets us know that Nick Aldis isn't necessarily convinced because that was a compelling
yeah.
point to make.
Hmm. That's true. I agree. So, the plot thickens. I don't think we'll get any answers on main event unless they're trying to make main event not suck ass.
Well, here's hoping. We'll have to hear about it because until I hear different. We watched 3 back-to-back main events, and that is not worth our time or has not been. If I
Yeah.
hear that it's great, I'll put it back into the rotation. But uh-uh. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 strikes rule, man. They sucked, then they sucked again, and then they sucked harder. And so I'm good. My
Yeah.
time is not to be wasted on that.
I feel
Um,
you.
but the that does bring us to the first match of the night, which is Ray Phoenix and Shinsuke Nakamura versus JC Mateo and a recently returned Tama Tonga who looks like he ate the old version of himself and came out buffer for the effort
Yeah, and some
with
fucking
the
steroid
rest.
muscle sacrifice.
Yeah, seriously. And of course all the rest of the MFTs are out there, Solo and Tongaloa and Talatonga.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course, when I say steroids in this case, I mean metaphorically. I don't think the dude. I'm not putting steroids on anyone. How about that? I will say though that he came back looking buff as shit. Um
Yeah, he
and
definitely any accusations aside, I think we can safely say he spent a good majority of his recovery time in the fucking gym. This
Yep.
dude is jacked now.
Yeah. So he came. He looks fantastic. I could tell that he was on a bulk, but even with all the muscle that he's put on, he didn't put that much fat
Spare weight.
on. Yeah,
Yeah,
spare
yeah.
weight, if you will. So he looks great. But not only is his physique looking better, but
Mm,
so is his technique in the ring. Um,
yeah. Yep.
this was a four-man match, yes, but the star of the show was Tamatanga. Um, JC Mateo did just fine. He was a really good supporting cast member. Honestly, Tamatanga shone bright like a diamond. He looked fantastic. Shinsuke, Ray, yes, all of them were there. But I'm telling you, the person that really stood out was Tamatanga.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. The MFTs and in particular Tematonga looked really good here.
Yeah,
I only saw one thing that was a little off timed, and that was on the apron chokeslam by Talatonga. I'm not sure if Ray jumped too soon or what, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication. Still pulled off the chokeslam, still looked good.
still, yeah,
Otherwise, Tamatonga looked amazing. And JC Mateo did for what it's worth because I've complained about that dude and how he looked and how we're not impressed with him. JC did really well, but you're
yeah,
right. Tamatonga like stole the show because
yeah,
every one of his lariats were brutal as shit looking. Every move he executed was with significant power. He was doing like stinger splashes into the corner with extreme prejudice.
yeah,
And his take on the hidden blade, which is
yeah.
his finisher now.
The
He's using
cutthroat.
Will Ospreay's hidden blade, and he's calling it the cutthroat. Looks
Yeah,
outstanding. Like he looks so good delivering it. So I'm impressed. I'm sufficiently impressed with the new and extra buff and twice as vicious Tamatonga that's come
yeah,
back to the MFTs.
yeah.
Um,
And he's got it. I mean, he has got it. Um, I didn't know like before he left. I was squinting. I was looking. I'm like, man, I kind of feel like he might have it. And his yeah. And then he is screwing up in the match where he was trying to pin, and and there was no pin.
oh, yeah,
But
that was
he
back in
took
the
it.
day. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he took it all on he just took it all in stride, and I thought his response to it at the time, I was like, this is good. This guy may have the chops, and I think my man's got the chops. I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
see, he's got the glow. He's got the glow, brothers. I'm
I
telling
mean,
you.
I'm waiting to I'm wanting to believe. I believe right now and I'm hoping that he can sustain. But I was real impressed with him throughout the night. Not I mean his performance in the ring was excellent, but later, I think there's a promo that he shows up in and he's getting to where he can kind of do different sort of emotives with his yeah, like he can be like yeah, or he can be like more menacing where he's like yeah, and that is a little more creepy and a whole lot more menacing, especially now that he's added like what looks like 30 pounds of freaking muscle on his upper body, his chest, his shoulders, his traps in particular.
Yeah,
It's working, and that black and white makeup is actually doing a decent job of making them seem altogether more menacing,
yeah.
at least in my opinion.
I
Um,
didn't. Yeah, at first I wasn't sure, but now I'm good. I'm sold on it. I'm sold. I'm telling you, Tama Tonga sold me on a lot of it last or the other night. And JC Mateo again, he did not look bad. Just because I'm not singing his praises right now does not mean that he did not show up. He did indeed show up. They
yeah,
looked like a really solid tag team. Like definitely some like I could see those two dudes going against the Wyatt Six and winning the belts. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I do, and I think. the broader point that I think you're getting to is that JC, everyone in the match looked good, including JC Mateo, but clearly they were showcasing the new and improved and recently returned Tamatonga, which is
Yeah,
why he also ended up hitting his finish and then getting the pin. So it was definitely about showcasing Tama. Like, I really feel that. And I feel WWE realized that the MFTs needed more threat and credibility in the ring, and they're moving in
yeah,
that direction. And I'm glad to see it.
yeah.
Because hook or by crook, a win over Shinsuke Nakamura and Ray Phoenix is no small feat.
Mm-mm.
Um, and that was a solid win against some very credible opponents. Um, and it was also an excellent opening match. Like, this was one of a series of really good matches on the night, and this was a great opener.
Yeah,
The MFT looked very dominant. MFTs looked very dominant.
yeah. Absolutely agree. And just again to reiterate, the winners was JC Mateo and Tamatonga. Solo gave a distraction, and you guys know you guys know the rest. The cutthroat, which is Tonga's move, that was it, and they looked fantastic.
Yep. Out like a flash too. The way he threw that back elbow, it was nasty looking. Just boom.
Yeah,
And I believe Phoenix lost. At that
yeah,
point, like after that move, it's a very credible finisher. But yeah, great opening match. After which, we see that Nick Aldis is talking to Jimmy Uso, and he's telling him, "Look, we can't have any more of these backstage brawls." And Jimmy's like, "That's some bullshit," because everybody in the mama knew Drew McIntyre attacked Jacob Fatu. And after the week he's been dealing with, Jimmy's getting ready to throw hands. And Nick says, "Well, look, I understand that, and I'll put you in a match tonight." And Jimmy says, "I don't want a match. I want to fight." And Nick says, "Okay, it'll be a no DQ match now." So there you go. Something to look forward to. That's going to be the main event.
yeah. Jimmy wanted to not only be uh beaten, he wanted to be violently.
Yeah, yeah. He wants it to be brutal.
Yeah. Which leads us into, I believe, no, actually it doesn't, because after that we had the Secret Service trying to recruit trying to recruit Julia, and it was funny until Cora, what's her name?
Kiana
Kiana,
James.
sorry, Kiana James, the Kiana gal came in and unfunnied everything, and then uh I think she called
I thought it was a little funny that she called Chelsea a
a
discount
discount
diva, and
diva.
Chelsea was like,
Yeah,
"Did you call me a diva?"
yeah.
She was so thrilled by that. Like, it just
Okay,
went way over her head.
no lie, that was pretty funny. I was about to mention that. Yes, that was a little bit funny. But that was just a setup. All of this was to set up a match, the next match of the night, which was Kiana James versus Tiffany Stratton. Um, and Kiana James has Julia with her, you know, the belt holder. Um, she's coming out for a match. I mean, she's not in the match. She's gonna watch the match with
Oh,
her belt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to stop and talk a little bit about that right here. Two things really before we move on to the next match. One, we saw Nikki Cross lurking in the background. Now, I don't know who she's targeting, or if she's just there for extra creepy factor since it's, Halloween season. But like, is she interested in Julia's belt, or does she want to be part of the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Like, where are we going with that? So that's question one. Question two, what the fuck are we doing with Julia? I mean, that Kiana James has a match with the women's champion, and I've had my criticisms of Tiffany Stratton. Okay, but why is Kiana having a match with her and not Julia? And when is
Again,
Julia going to have another goddamn match? I feel like she has had the most like milk toast bullshit title run of anybody I've ever seen. Is she secretly injured? Like,
I
why
don't.
don't they book her?
I honestly don't know. I'm not sure why the women's belt division is such ass. I don't know why it's ass meat. Um, like legit, it's just rotten ass, and I don't know why.
Ooh,
Um,
rotten
be-
ass, gross.
because I'm watching them handle the men's belt, the mid card belt, the one that Dragunov has right now. I'm watching them handle that, and they seem to get the idea with 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 the men's belt.
Yeah, yeah, that's like the
So
template for how every other mid card belt ought to go.
so I'm not really sure, and I can say that Becky somewhat in her own right is doing her thing with the mid card belt. She's she's it's definitely relevant as fuck, and she just had a really good match against Maxine that get any more mid card than
hmm
that.
And
Um,
she's doing a similar thing. You, as you said
yeah,
before, I'm just saying what you said before.
right,
She's doing that mid card thing, but from a heel side of things. And I
right,
agree with you. I think that's going pretty good, at least now that we've seen kind of where they're trying to go with it.
yeah. So we know that they have an understanding of what we want to see, and then we look at this belt and what's going on. Aside from that, what's going on with Tiffany's belt? Um, what do what are we doing here? Like the
Yeah.
both women here have really lackluster title runs. I mean, if I were Julia, I wouldn't feel a connection to this belt because I just won it and then that's it. I haven't done anything to keep it or fight for it or make it worth anything. And it's gonna really suck if because this is pretty much what's gonna happen. She's gonna have one good bang out match and lose the belt. I'd be real pissed about that.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't feel like this has been a very successful title run for Julia at all.
yeah, I could talk
Like,
about how long I've had it, but if you go back and people are like, "Yeah, but you had like one fucking match for 2 years," that's not
yeah,
a.
and see that is a problem because like the same thing was said of what was it, Judgment Day defending their
Mm-hmm.
titles. You know, that it was brought up in the kayfabe that what has it been like 180 days since they last defended it. So yeah, I mean that kind of shit sticks even in the kayfabe. You know,
Yeah,
let alone with the fans going, "Oh, well, this chick's had the belt, but she's not fought anybody for it." Like I
yeah,
think she's had a total of 2 defenses in the entire time she's had the belt,
yeah,
at least on TV, or and she's not made it. Not, I don't think she's been booked in even one PLE since she's won the belt.
yeah. I don't think so, and that's
Sad.
pretty bad. Yeah, yeah. Well, she's not a bad wrestler. You guys sold us on how good she was. We got to see it for 2 seconds, and then you made her sit on her
Yeah.
hands from here on out.
And now her title run is being watered down by her having to babysit Kiana James.
Yeah,
Like what the fuck?
yeah,
So anyway, I said all that because it's going to become very relevant with regards to the match that's about to happen.
yeah. And I mean, okay, so there were really no bad matches. Um, honestly, there were really no bad matches. This SmackDown, but if there was like
Weaker match of the night.
it would be this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement because the matches surrounding this one were absolutely great.
And guys, I don't know what to say or think about Tiffany Stratton. Um, I think her hype is bigger than her skill. And I feel like dog shit saying that because I don't think she's bad in the ring, but she's not as fantastic as I was led to believe. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the more she's in the ring. You know how you watch people, and the more they're in the ring, the more you get to see how good they are. The more you get to see like, oh yeah, their technical skills are like through the roof, or, man, they work really well together. I haven't seen that with Tiffany. I haven't seen Tiffany have a match with someone, and I felt like they were working well together, as opposed to working well against each other. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
I feel like just to be clear and or to recap, the next match, the second match of the night is Tiffany Stratton versus not Julia, but Kiana James with the champ as her valet.
Yeah.
Um and uh to speak to Tiffany Stratton, like I don't know if Stratton is just got the worst luck ever, but like her best run was getting to the belt by way of uh Money in the Bank. Like that run with her and Nia Jax, that
Yeah.
was the last time she was good because everything that came after has been catastrophically bad. Like
Yeah.
the clumsy promos where she was way out of her depth going against Charlotte
Charlotte.
Flair.
Yeah.
That was pretty terrible and it made for a really terrible match. The flubs in several matches. She was in the match that was part of like that really terrible main event ending that happened a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, where the ref just stopped counting in order to move Nia like 3 feet closer to the ropes to have the moonsault, the prettiest moonsault ever occur, and
Yeah.
that just looked all wonky. Like she's just either the worst luck ever, and that extends into this a bit, um, because one, this match was only okay, mainly because Kiana James didn't do a whole lot. There was a point where she spun Stratton around like the ring, like just not like a giant swing or anything, but just picked her up and did circles like a dog who can't figure out where they want to lay down. And Kiana looks like it's a struggle just to do the basic shit out there. Like whoever thought she was main roster ready is just not correct.
I
And I guess
yeah.
they just wanted to throw her into the deep end and it's sink or swim, and she is floundering. Um, but she didn't look impressive at all. And there was even a point near the very end of the match where it looked like Tiffany Stratton was in a rush, and so she does one move, gets up to go do her moonsault, and damn nearly trips on Kiana James' leg on the way to the corner. So this was just kind of a sloppy match. It didn't try to do too much. It certainly didn't ask Kiana to do too much because damn if she wouldn't fuck that up. Um, I'm sorry.
Uh,
This is all the impression that I've been given by what I have seen from them in the ring. I didn't have much good to say about the MFTs or Tamatonga. You start showing me something different, I'll start reacting different. So you want a
yeah.
different response out of me, then show me something. And this is what I've seen from Stratton in her title run, and what I've seen of Kiana since she came back from her more than a year long injury. Like she got called up, had one match, got injured for a year, came back and has done jack and shit. Like talk about zero impact chick. And all she seems to be doing is dragging down Julia further in her crappily booked title run. So I'm not pleased by any of what I'm seeing here in this situation.
Yeah.
And for the most part, this match seemed entirely like a pretext for what came near the end. I have to say, Kiana didn't look impressive. I'm wondering why the champion is not facing the other champion. What are you afraid to book, Julia? Is she secretly hurt? I feel like she is being entirely wasted. I'll speak to more about like what happened later in the match after you get a chance to speak to this match a bit.
Oh, I don't really have much to say. I honestly, this was a uninspired, clumsy mess. This is the way I feel with most of Tiffany's matches. They are uninspired. I don't feel that she meshes well with anyone in the ring, and I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm not saying it's the other wrestler's fault. I'm just saying that it's just not there. The chemistry is just not there with anyone that she gets in the ring with.
No.
Um,
And I
and
feel like,
it feels
um,
like it feels like it's more of an abrasive move on her part whenever she's in the ring with somebody. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's just not.
it's not
Mm,
clicking, and
it's not clicking.
I feel like it's almost in a death spiral. Like Stratton is already nervous as to whether or not she can pull it off at this top position.
Yeah,
And those nerves feed into her continuing to not pull it off at this top position.
yeah,
But I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, not acknowledge that you're fucking it up just because that might make you fuck it up more? You're going to have to suck it up, Buttercup. There's nothing for that. Like, it doesn't change the fact that you are, in fact, fucking it up, and that has to be stated.
yeah,
Um, and I feel like Stratton continues to look less comfortable with her own move set instead of more comfortable. Like it seems like she struggles with that cartwheel into the Alabama Slam. About 60% of the time, it looks like she's going to maybe not pull it off right. And the finish where she hit the prettiest moonsault ever. Again, like I said, she nearly tripped getting to the corner, and then it just looked like she was rushing towards the finish because God help her that she's in another flubbed ending of a match, right? So
yeah.
I don't blame her for feeling rushed, but it shows. And so I don't know how you fix that. Like, the only way to get her out of that tailspin might be to take the belt off her and depressurize the situation so that she can get more comfortable, because I think you guys put the strap on her too soon. um That said, I'll go ahead and speak to the events that happened later in the match, because I kind of feel like this whole match was a pretext for what came next, which was after the match, both Julia and Kiana start beating up Tiffany Stratton, even though she won the match. Um, and we're like, well, Stratton doesn't have a friend out here. Oh, and out comes Jade Cargill. And on the way to the ring, I remember telling you this. I'm like, is Jade gonna beat her ass? Because that would be hilarious if she came out and joined the
Come
beatdown.
on, George. Yeah,
But for whatever reason, Jade Cargill fights off Kiana and Julia and then hands Tiffany the belt all polite like and holds her hand up, only to take two steps away from her, turn around, and clothesline the fucking bejesus out of her. And I'm like, well, why didn't we start there? I guess she wanted the fight all to herself.
yeah. I don't think she wants to share with the other two ladies.
So we end up seeing a long overdue heel turn from Jade Cargill, and she proceeds to beat the brakes off of Stratton, like throwing her into everything around ringside that can be thrown into. She threw her over the announce desk, back over to the other side of the announce desk. And then at one point, she runs over and stomps on Tiffany Stratton's knee while Tiffany was laid up next to the ring steps. So it kind of sets the stage, perhaps, maybe, for Stratton to drop the belt to Jade because Jade maybe screwed her knee up. The only reason I say perhaps maybe is that the match is going to take place on Saturday Night Main Event. And historically, belts rarely title change on Main Event. But who knows? Maybe it's as you say. Maybe they're trying to spruce up that trash show. So there's a possibility that Jade catches the win and becomes the champ on Saturday Night Main Event, because you have set the stage that Stratton is going to be fucked up going into this match with her knee being all jacked up.
Yeah,
But I feel like this entire match was just a pretext for that interaction.
I agree.
And
And
that might be why Julia wasn't her opponent. They needed a throwaway match for Tiffany Stratton because that match was not important. It was a pretext for this Jade Cargill heel turn.
yeah, well, I mean, we shall see.
Yep, indeed. But yeah, I mean, that the big question mark here is that I think they've set the stage, but it's taking place at Saturday Night Main Event. So those almost counter each other out. So I don't know. It could be another nothing burger of an interaction between the two of them. But I'm kind of hoping that it just turns out that they spruced up Saturday Night Main Event by having a title change, because God help me, I'm already tired of Jade Cargill and Stratton's feud.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is what I've been watching for months and months. It's either been Stratton versus Nia Jax or Stratton versus Cargill, because anytime Stratton tries to go against anyone else, it turns out badly. And as history would show us, it didn't turn all out great when it was Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. They flubbed the shit out the ending.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we know that at least one belt is going to be changing hands this main event because of CM Punk having a match with versus Jey Uso, and that's going to determine the new champion. So,
well, who
we do
knows? Then
know.
it might be a really good Saturday night main event. Maybe we'll take a
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah. Maybe. But my
Hey,
money's still on CM Punk. But
I don't disagree with you, especially with all the backlash. Like this is probably a nice little point to talk about this, but the online anyway, Jay Uso winning that battle royal to determine the number one contender is being ratioed on WWE's YouTube channel, like by people that are not thrilled about that turn of events. So you may be right. It might be that CM Punk gets this comeuppance because people are not feeling Jay Uso for some reason. I like Jay Uso. I know you like Jay Uso,
I do too, but they
but
wanted LA Knight. But as far as I'm concerned, does it matter? And to be perfectly honest, well, actually, yeah, it does matter. It matters because I wouldn't want LA Knight to go in and lose another title uh match. Like I don't want
yeah,
that for LA Knight. Maybe he could be the next serious competitor for the belt when it comes to CM Punk, but I don't want him to go to a main event, lose the fucking match yet again, and then I think that would be worse for LA Knight than it is for Jey Uso. Jey Uso is huge. He's gonna remain huge for quite some time, I think, unless he decides he didn't want to be huge anymore. Um but I don't think that him losing, and I honestly think that's what's gonna happen because I think CM Punk is winning this belt. So could you
yeah.
imagine?
I am unabashedly not a fan of CM Punk. That said, I am inclined to agree with you. Just because I think the story and the timing all make sense for Punk to win it here. Um, and I don't think Jay Uso is going to get it back anytime soon, if ever. I think after this particular attempt, the storyline with the bloodline is going to go in a different direction. And I honestly think that CM Punk's next major opponent will likely be LA Knight. And,
Yeah,
you know, after that, I think it's not going to be Jey Uso, because I think beyond that point, it's going to be Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed
yeah,
trying to get that belt. If they aren't first in line, I think it's going to be a competition between the Bronze and what remains now as the Vision versus LA Knight and CM Punk. I think Jay is going to get squeezed out of the equation and go in a different direction, if I'm being perfectly honest.
yeah. I agree. But back to the debacle that was the second match. Or what happens after that is um I can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. After she got viciously attacked, um, all she did was get into the ring. She held up the belt for a second, right? Yeah. Cargo held the. She posed with
Cargill
the
did,
belt.
yeah.
Yeah. She
Cargill didn't get viciously attacked. After viciously attacking Stratton, she rolls into the
right.
ring and grabs
Did
the
I
belt.
say?
Yeah, yeah.
Did I say she got
You
attacked?
said after getting viciously attacked.
Oh well, no. After stumping the shit out of Tiffany, she gets into the ring. She stands with the belt, and then she puts the belt down and she leaves. I think later on she gets asked backstage why she did what she
Yeah.
did, but I think before that we had Dragunov getting a pep talk from Sammy.
Oh
who's
yeah.
basically
Yep.
telling him, yeah, basically telling him that he's got the power now. He has a duty to represent that belt a certain way, and it's all about open challenges, and he needs to be ready and prepared for anything and anyone to come out there and challenge him for that belt. Uh, Essentially hyping the shit out of Dragunov. He was hyped. Like I think he left going like he was ready
Yeah,
to go.
no, he did. He growled in excitement. I
Yeah,
have to say, this particular interaction between Sammy and Dragunov, and this is going to sound like not edgy or not maybe a hot take, but I found it really charming. Like
yeah,
this was legitimately two faces that can get it done in the ring, showing mutual respect for one another and a lot of sportsmanship and respect for the belt that they're carrying. Again,
yeah.
template for how to deal with these mid-card belts.
Yep.
I mean, just chef's kiss. This is firing on all cylinders. This is going very well. WWE, you're doing a good job here.
Yeah.
Absolutely good.
Yeah. And this is I think a fantastic presentation of Sammy. I think this is a good position. I think this is a good vibe for him. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then after that,
And
Kathy Kelly
then
starts like just running out of nowhere, like she's barreling towards
she,
Jade to try
yeah, she was sprinting at her. Yeah.
to try to get some answers. She asked Jade why she attacked Tiffany and if she's worried about facing any consequences and whatnot. And Jade was like, she ain't worried about nothing. She ain't worried about no consequences. She did say though, you once face consequences when you make a mistake, or
Yeah, I think you
you
only
only
face them.
face you only face consequences when you make a mistake. And the only mistake Jade made was thinking that this world rewards patience, it rewards power. And she's taking it, starting with the WWE Women's Championship. And then she walked away. And
Short and
quickly,
sweet and to the fucking point.
I think it's hilarious that after she said that, like there were people in the audience who were like cheering. They're like, "Oh, okay, we're sold now. We're
Yeah.
sold. Team Jade, yay!"
I mean, she ain't wrong. Look, Bronson Reed starts attacking big players. Look at where he is.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, same thing. Hell, first night on Raw starts attacking big players. So she isn't wrong.
No.
The GMs might grouse about it, but that's how you end up in the main event spot.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Seth
True. True.
Rollins slapped the bejesus out of Roman Reigns with a chair, shot heard around the world. Look at what happened. Career making. So she is absolutely right. There's a brass ring and it ain't given, it's seized.
Yeah. She ain't wrong.
She
Uh.
ain't wrong.
Now after this, Dragunov comes out to the ring and he was all hyped, but then he had to give a speech where he comes out and he essentially says that he missed everyone. He missed you know, wrestling in general. He talked about the year that he had of recovering, which was full of highs and lows. Uh, and excuse me, he had to be honest with the audience. There were a lot of points where he didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but he never gives up. Uh, it's in his genetics. He don't do that. He don't play that shit. And because he has an obsession, and I guess it's probably just an obsession for wrestling. Uh, that's why he's still here, and now that's why he's the United States champion. And where he comes from, they like to say, how you do one thing, you do all things. So he plans to defend the belt with all of his obsession. And he won the belt from a great man, Sami Zayn. So it was his duty, or it's his duty, to continue the legacy of the Open Challenge. And then he says, "My dear friends and enemies, tonight, pain shall entertain you." Um, you know, foreigners, am I right? I'm kidding.
No, yeah, he came out there and it was heartfelt. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, And that led us into the third match of the night, which is the new U.S. champion, Ilya Dragunov, defending against Aleister Black with Zelina Vega.
Yes. And I will say Karrion Cross. Sorry. Uh, Alistair Black did a good job. He
Yep.
was
Yep.
original.
Aleister Cross and Zelina Scarlett.
Yeah, he was original. Nothing that I saw him do was something that I had ever seen anyone ever do before him and
Never.
Scarlett.
Unprecedented.
Her coming out to the ring, like
Zelina.
walking. Oh yeah, sorry. Uh, her coming out to the ring or like walking in front of him, ushering him to the ring. I've never seen that. Her like crawling in front of him and whatnot, and like getting on her hands and her knees and basically doing an exorcism. Never seen that. Um, I mean, all she could have done, like I'm telling you, she could have gotten up there and just started lip singing the lyrics to the song, and I would have been like, "Oh my god, I've never seen anything like this." Like that would have really set her apart.
Yeah, it's almost like she fell and prayed.
Yeah, almost. Um, it
But
was
see, she
probably.
fell backwards. See, she did a back bend.
Oh.
She's instead of being like an evil prophecy or an oracle, she is a snake. So it's totally
Oh.
different.
Okay, she's a snake. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well,
It's dripping with sarcasm.
it's funny because he's sarcastic. Um.
There you go, Ilya.
Yeah. But all jokes aside, honestly, Alistair, this was a pretty good match. Like, and I
Yeah.
knew that it was gonna be a good match, but I thought it was gonna be a good match mainly because of Dragunov. No disrespect, Alistair. But I was wrong. I was wrong because Alistair showed up. Like the match was really good. Yes, there was a little bit of an interference from Zelina, but um, not a lot. It wasn't a huge amount, and
An ankle grab.
yeah, an ankle grab here and there. I think she did a hurricane blow me or whatever the fuck. Um, but I mean that was it. So it was really just Dragunov and Alistair. And Alistair really, I'm no jokes aside, he really did show up. It ended up becoming a pretty good match.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
All jokes aside about how Alistair and Zelina have more or less replaced Carrion and Scarlet. Alistair looked better than I've ever seen him.
I
This
agree.
honestly was an absolute. It turned out to be an absolute banger of a match. Minor interference from Zelina, a little bit from Damian Priest by existing near the
Yeah.
end,
Yeah. All
but
he did was
Ilya,
exist, bro.
Ilya and Black put on a absolute banger. This would probably qualify as match of the night for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, because this was the best I've seen from Aleister Black anywhere. Like this
Mhm.
was probably his best showing so far, whether it's in WWE or when he was Malachi over in AEW.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. I think a lot should be said there for Dragunov.
Yeah, no, Dragunov is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
But I've seen Dragunov and I've seen how fantastic he could be. So for me, it was surprising to see Black match his energy and
Yeah.
actually put on a really killer match. Like he
Yeah.
threw a picture perfect. Like if I looked up German suplex in a dictionary, it would show that suplex that Aleister Black hit on Ilya. And Ilya did rolling German suplexes that looked amazing. I mean, these guys just left it in the ring for us. They were clearly trying to impress, and it continues with this ongoing legacy of the US title match of the night, the open challenge being where like you're going to get absolutely in-ring work. Like this is where
Yeah.
they're going to showcase what they can do in that ring.
Yeah.
And this did not disappoint. Um I was really pleased with this match, and it gave me a lot of faith. I already had it in Ilya Dragunov. I was thrilled to see him come back. I had seen what he could do before, and I'm glad that his knee injury has not slowed him down at all.
Yeah.
But this really showed me something that Black is capable of that I had not seen. So it was a fantastic match for that reason. Um, and additionally, as was mentioned before, Damian Priest does make a showing. He had eye makeup, or maybe it wasn't makeup. I'm not sure, but he was showcasing the fireball he was hit with by showing what looked like burn marks around his eyes when he took off his shades.
Yeah.
And
Now he's a
Zelina
part of the
Vega,
Fire Clan.
yes, Selena Vega had just been like kicked out of the ringside area by the referee because the ref straight saw her grab Ilya Dragunov's ankle when he was trying to come out of there for a torpedo Moscow. And it clearly shows that there's unfinished business between Black and Priest. That feud is far from over, and I believe the match was made official shortly after this one. That Black and Priest will meet at Saturday Night Main Event. But to conclude how this match went, after some interference that prevented Ilya from hitting his combination of Torpedo Moscow into H Bomb or H Bomber, um, the appearance of Damian Priest distracts Black long enough to allow Ilya to just come off the ropes with an out of nowhere style Torpedo Moscow to pick up the win, and it looked phenomenal. And
Yeah.
this was on the end of these two men giving us an absolute banger of a match. So really well done. Great third match of the night.
Yeah.
Great showing for Ilya Dragunov and Aleister Black.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And I would also agree that yeah, this is probably the match of the night.
Nice. So following that match, we have Kathy Kelly, who is just all over the place tonight. Like she's working for her biscuit. Like she was chasing down Jade Cargill. Here it looks like she didn't have to run too far to run into Carmelo Hayes, and
Yeah.
she's asking Mello about like the events that have been transpiring with regards to the Miz, and Mello says he knows everybody's waiting for him to go off on the Miz, but he's not interested in doing that. I mean, the Miz is a future Hall of Famer. And he's forever grateful for how much Miz taught him. However, when Miz attacked him when he was attempting to have his U.S. title, that was crossing a line and one that Mello, as a man, couldn't let stand. But as far as Mello is concerned, that debt's repaid, and there's no further feuding to be had. He's ready to move on and go on to other things. So as far as he's
Mm.
concerned, they're even, and he wants to go back to fulfilling his destiny and become him. Um, and he says he hears and sees and feels the support and owes the WWE Universe. Now, someone who's talking positively about the WWE Universe sounds like they're having a face turn. So I think Mello is going face here. And he wants to get on track. And that's when Kit Wilson interrupts him and wants to talk to him about how he's poisoning his future with his toxic masculinity.
Oh
And
Lord.
Mello is also apparently showcasing a crime of emotional intelligence. I don't even know that makes any damn sense.
Oh Lord.
Insofar as that kind of language makes any sense in the first place. Mello then says it would be a crime to let Kit interrupt his interview and not make him pay for it. So he challenges Kit to a match next week. And Kit says, good, he's going to expose Mello next week. And I'm like, please don't. Oh, and
God.
give him a dose of toxic medicine. And I'm like, okay. So apparently, Kit Wilson is trying to do a singles thing since Elton Prince is apparently out into perpetuity from the injury he had the last time we saw them face off against Axiom. So I'm glad to see that Kit's doing a thing. He's definitely going to be the heel talking all this toxic masculinity crap, though, for
Oh God,
sure.
yes. Oh God, yes. Absolutely.
And that
Yeah.
makes me think for sure that Mello is having a face turn.
Yeah. I think so, and I could hear the fans. Basically, they're pretty up on him. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see where this goes.
Well, and we have often asked, what the hell are you doing with Carmelo? Well, hey, let's see how this plays out. Because if it's good for Melo, then I'll be glad. Not let him sit there drifting in the weeds. Because he was a heck of a North American champion back in NXT,
Yeah,
and his old partner Trick is fucking killing it over there. So I'd really like to see Melo get his shot.
yeah, me too. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Carrion's crossed. No, 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 no. That might curse him. Let's see. We then show up where Fraxium was watching, and they're like, "See, everybody is like just grabbing at their own opportunities." Um, and
Yeah, but then
oh no, first they run into Ilya Dragunov. Sorry.
yeah, and
Um,
then they start like telling him, "Oh, I want a shot of the build. I want to," like
yeah,
as
yep.
if he's holding out, as if he's holding out shots for the belt, and he's like, "Yeah, just fucking, do what you need to do, and let's make the match happen, weirdos." Like, what
uh,
the fuck?
this is where they like showed that they don't understand how open challenges work.
Yeah, he's like, "It's an open challenge, my guys." Like, so you guys can, yes, even tag teams, you guys can sign up for it. And they were like, "Brr?" You
Yeah.
know?
And Fraser's response to that just confirms like that they don't understand how the open challenge system works, because Fraser tells Axiom that Dragunov didn't sit and wait for his opportunity. And it's like, he didn't create an opportunity. An opportunity presented itself and he jumped on it, which is what an open challenge
Yeah.
is, and that's how that works. So I don't know.
Dot, dot, dot.
Axiom didn't seem too consistent like
Mm,
with like their understanding of how things work.
I don't know. I
Um
think I think they must have been back there at RVD or something, and
uh-oh.
just got a little too crispy.
They were being buds.
A little bit of the devil's lettuce.
Ah, you might be onto something, but I don't. How would Fraxium do that with the mask? Um,
So come on.
I jest because of what DIY said next. They joined the conversation and tell Fraxium to be realistic about their championship aspirations, and by realistic it means abandon them. And they go on to say, from we, the locker room leaders, make your dreams a little smaller. And Candice LeRae tells Axiom to remove his stupid mask. Why, Candice? What, do you need something for your spank bank? I don't doubt it. You're with
Oh
Johnny.
no. No.
But why are you so keen to make him take his mask off? You want to you want to see if the face goes with that voice?
Oh, I don't
Um,
want it.
anyway, uh, Axiom says Johnny Gargano's scared of him, and Candice calls for Axiom a waste of their time. And then, and this is where Tamatonga kind of had his little second showing. He walks up to both members of Fraxium, and he kind of makes this gesture where he, points at his eyes, then he points at the two of them, and then he does a slash across his throat. And then as he sort of creeps away, he's like, yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, Tamatonga making plays in the tag team division already. So I was real pleased by that.
Yeah. Yeah. And he looked really cool. Look, I'm telling you guys, I see the glow. Just go with it. The glow is on him, okay?
Yeah, I think Tamatonga is in position, and you said something to this effect, that you think he's got that it factor. It's showing on him.
He's
So
got it.
if that is in fact the case, and from what I'm seeing, I'm inclined to agree with you, then by all means, because the MFTs need to present as a existential dangerous faction. They are an
Yes.
offshoot of the bloodline. They can't be mediocre. They have to be top guys.
Out. I mean,
No,
in.
no, they got to be in. Yeah, but I see what you did there.
Mhm.
Um, and then we are taken further to Kathy Kelly, who sprinted to the other side of the world to talk backstage with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And they go on to say that they're accepting Bailey's challenge, because I think she was asking, "Hey, did you hear that Bailey and Lyra are wondering if you got the lady balls to show up at Monday Night Raw and accept their challenge?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah." And so this Monday on Raw, Charlotte and Alexa will put their tag team titles on the line against Bailey and Lyra. And she says they need to show them what a real tag team looks like. And, you know, Charlotte wonders if Lyra and Bailey are even really friends because Bailey's got all that crazy going on, like can't tell from one moment to the next. I'm sure Lyra is wondering that, as a matter of fact. That's not even
Yeah,
just Charlotte being messy. That's just true.
yeah.
And Naya interrupts the interview. She shows up and she's like, "Oh, isn't that so sweet?" Or something like that. Would you look at you two? And like she is big facing the camera, like she's leaning into it and puckering her lips and shit. Like she looked like a damn anime character the way she did it, and it was pretty good. And she says, Jax knows that someone is just waiting for the moment to stab the other in the back, and she's strongly inferring that it's Alexa that's going to do it, speaking to a history that those two have with one another. And Charlotte says that Nia's just projecting, and that she used to have the same attitude, but she grew and learned how to develop healthy relationships rooted in trust. Maybe Nia should try that sometime. And And I think Nia says that if Charlotte wants to call Nia a bully, it's because she learned from the best, indicating Alexa Bliss. And Nia continues to warn Charlotte to watch out because Alexa will hug her with one arm and stab her in the back with the other. Alexis responds by saying people do change. However, if Nia wants to find the old version of her, she's not that hard to find. And Nia challenges Alexa to a match, which she accepts on the spot. And so next week we're going to have Nia versus Alexa.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's going to be a busy week for Alexa. Like on Monday, she's got to defend her tag team belts against Lyra and Bailey, and then on Friday she's got Nia Jax. Man, you trying to put in that work? You got vacation time coming? You got to put in some extra days. You want a Halloween off, right? That must
Yeah,
be it.
yes. She wanted the Halloween off. That's right. And she was like,
Either
"How
way,
how do I get that?"
you got to double wrestle this week. Oh well,
Shit.
snap. Um, so I'm here for both of those matches though. Like I'm excited to see both of them because like
Oh no,
Alexa,
SmackDown is on Halloween.
Alexa, oh there you go. Alexa is one of the smaller competitors that doesn't have the problems Zelina Vega does. Zelina Vega's small and you feel every piece of her smallness. Alexa manages to fight above her weight.
Yeah.
So she can believably go with just about anyone, including Nia Jax. So I'm excited to see that match.
Yep.
Um, and if we weren't sure, it's at this point in SmackDown that they let us know it's official that Tiffany Stratton's putting her WWE Women's Championship on the line against Jade Cargill at Saturday night's main event. And I'm thinking, yeah, with your knee being all screwed up, all right. WWE
Yeah.
Medical, reliable for making sure that injured champions wrestle.
Nah, she's fine. She's fine. Put some ice on it. It's
She's
good.
fine. She'll walk it off. But
We got that magical tape.
that's right. That's right. Some kinesio tape, you're fine. Um,
Some
we'll put a
Keanu
roller
Reeves
skate.
tape.
We'll put some kinesio tape and some boots with a roller skate in it. You can get to the ring. You're good.
Some Kaiser
Um,
Sozar tape.
Kaiser Sozar.
Some Keanu Reeves tape.
So not Kanunu Reeve tape. I think I can wrestle. Um. So anyway,
Oh
that
shit.
brings us to the fourth and final, our main event match of the night, which is Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso in a no DQ match. And this is pretty good. I think they start out with Jimmy's intro and he makes his way to the ring, and then we get to biggity bacon, biggity biggity bacon, biggity bacon. But he doesn't get to finish his biggity bacon because I believe Jimmy meets him in the entrance ramp and just starts throwing hands. He's ready. He wants that fight. So this one gets off to a hot start. And
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on the main event?
Well, uh I think it was so Drew comes out first. So Jimmy is coming out. Drew runs up on Jimmy while Jimmy is coming
Oh, did I get that backwards? My bad.
into the ring. And so, but I mean, either way it goes, they start like immediately. It's an all out brawl. I think that this went just about as I would expect it to go. Where Jimmy pretty much got his ass kicked, but I noticed some very important things. Jimmy is a fantastic wrestler. Like, and I'm not being sarcastic at all. Uh, and I'm not joking. I'm not. This is not a setup for anything. I'm talking about his technical skill in the ring is really good. I would almost dare I say that it's better than Jay's. Um, Jay has.
Shots fired.
I'm so sorry, but Jay has
Now the twins
all
are
the
gonna fight.
personality. Jay has all the personality. He is larger than life. Uh, but Jimmy's Jimmy's I think skill shines really bright in the ring, and separating him from Jay, you get to see that more often than not. So in this match against McIntyre, you really got to see Jimmy shine, even when he was taking bumps. Even if he's selling a move, it didn't. His technical skill, his technical prowess in the ring, is impressive, and it's far better than I'd given him credit for before. So this match, I don't know what it was, but it really uh showed. It gave me a lot of examples of just how good Jimmy is. And first of all, I mean, working with McIntyre is
Uso
no
in the
small.
wind. It was Uso in the wind, I think.
Yeah, that was a great move. Yes. But McIntyre is no small feat, and he's also a very good wrestler. And these two looked very good together. Um, but it went about as well as I would expect it to go for Jimmy. Um, I just kind of feel like he was outgunned here. Like when it comes to just brute strength, Drew McIntyre is going to win. Um, and when he did, he got him. He got him with, of course, excuse me, he got him with the claymore, and that was all she wrote. But
Yeah. Although there's a few lead-ins to that were quite
oh,
nasty. I
please
mean,
go ahead.
there was some serious chair shots that Jimmy had laid into Drew
Oh
McIntyre,
yeah, no, no.
and he went up for the Uso splash, and this was one of the brutal hits of the night for me. I thought this looked nasty. He went for the Uso splash, and Drew stood up, grabbed a chair, and threw it directly into Jimmy's face, like basically anti-air thrown chair, and just I mean, there's nothing for that. It's a chair
Yeah.
flying through the air that he connected with, so it's like burk,
Now
and
this
so that
wasn't no
that looked
disqualification.
really violent.
This was a no disqualification match, so they did lean into a little bit more brutality than you would expect in a normal match. Maybe I feel like I'm dead inside whenever I'm doing these types of reviews because all you know what I mean? Because I've seen AEW and I'm like, this ain't nothing. Nobody lost any fingernails. Nobody was tossed anywhere. Nobody got choked out or drowned. You know, but uh, all like seriously though, this really was a good match. I think it would be my second favorite just because of the match between Alistair and
Ilya,
Ilya was just such a surprise. It was such a
yeah,
refreshing surprise that it's solidly the best match of the night for me. Um this one was a good match just in technical skill uh um and story because we got
yeah,
a nice little story going here with Drew, and Jimmy's a part of it, to some extent, but it's really between Drew and Cody, and it's got me interested in their little feud, more than I've been with any recent feud that Cody's been a part of. Save
yeah.
Roman Reigns or the Bloodline feud. So this has piqued my interest because I'm very interested in where they're going with Cody. and with Drew, because I something tells me that the tables will turn, and soon we're gonna be seeing Drew as a face and Cody as a heel, and I just want to see where that goes because that's if that leads into Drew getting the belt, I'm here for it. I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
and I think Drew is overdue for a title run, so I'm
I
inclined to agree with
absolutely
you.
agree. Now, I
Um,
got a little bit ahead of myself there. But ultimately, I'm gonna say one more thing about the match. I thought it was a great match, a great closer, and it had a fantastic storyline that has me invested in a match that I thought I would not be invested in, just because I see a story arc here that I am hoping we get, and
yeah,
that's all. That's it.
I can dig it. Well, my thoughts are very similar. I felt like I knew Jimmy wasn't going to win this, but it turns out that Jimmy made himself a more credible opponent than I expected. This was a really solid match between Jimmy and Drew, with some nasty hits, as I mentioned near the end. Um, just to kind of highlight real a few of them, there was a point where Jimmy hits a big ass Samoan drop on Drew through the table, and that was great. I mean, because Drew McIntyre is a big dude, like he is huge looking, and Jimmy got him up and over and through the damn table. But Drew counters that by getting up and throwing a chair into Jimmy's face. And that chair shot pretty much spelled the end for Jimmy, who, kind of tried to recover and ended up eating Claymore City. It was like, yum, yum. I love this Claymore. Like it turned him inside out. And I've got to give Jimmy a lot of props for not only executing his own offense really, really well. And I agree with you. I think Jimmy is the better in ring worker of the two. And he hit Uso in the wind perfectly. He sold the Claymore like he had just gotten his grill kicked out of his face. It was great. It was a really good match between the two of them. And
Yeah.
part of the reason I say that is for its own sake, because it deserves to be said, but also because I could I could be inclined to see that it invites comparison to have said that the match between Tiffany and Kiana was just a pretext for the storyline, because you could say the same thing here. Because after that match, Drew gets the chair and proceeds to start trying to choke out Jimmy, which pulls out Cody. And Cody comes in there, chases off Drew McIntyre. Then he proceeds to start checking in on Jimmy. And then while his back is turned, McIntyre makes his way back into the ring and just claymores the fucking hell out of Cody. And so the show ends up going off the air with Drew kneeling over Cody, talking mad shit to him. There's no clearing up of who attacked Jacob Fatu. And as we've mentioned a few times already, I'm really strongly inclined to think Cody did it. And with how
Yeah.
overly defensive he is and prone to attacking Drew, especially if he's mentioning anything about the attack, I'm leaning hard into Cody is responsible for Jacob Fatu. And this ended up being a real banger of a match that had story, but it wasn't just a pretense for that story. Drew and Jimmy really gave it to us for this main event.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, with that being how the show ended, what was your final review of WWE SmackDown?
Well, because the only match that was really kind of a match was the what's her face?
Stratton
Uh
and Kiana?
yeah, Stratton and Kiana business. Because that was really the only, you know, um match that was kind of ass. I'm gonna give it like an 8. I'm gonna say 8 negative because I mean the matches that were good were really good.
Yep, yep.
Just not like, man good. No, I mean like really good. So I have to give it like an 8.
Nice, nice. So eight neck nubs, top
Yeah.
tier.
Cuz I have to make it top tier.
Well, I don't know if you sneak a peek at my show notes, but you basically said about the same thing I was going to say. What I have written here is that this was a solid episode, generally good to great matches with a real banger in there with Ilya and Black.
Mhm.
The MFTs versus Nakamura and the Phoenix match, and Jimmy and Drew were very good and good respectively. So because these matches were like super good, very good, and pretty darn good, like I mean, they were all very solid matches. I think the Ilya and Black one kind of was a little bit higher. So if I'm ranking them, I would say that's the match of the night, followed by the MFTs versus Nakamura and Phoenix, and then Jimmy and Drew, which were all very, very good matches. Then the only okay-ish match that I have more of an issue with, like the direction that they're going with, like both Julia and Stratton. I'm more
Yeah.
disappointed with how those champions are being manifest than I was actually the match. The match was okay.
Yeah.
Um, then it comes out when you consider that the promos were solid and as mentioned, Julia floundering in a mediocre title run and all the issues with Tiffany Stratton notwithstanding, that's more of a criticism with booking in WWE than with this episode of SmackDown. So I'm not really holding all that against it. I have to say that this is a 7.5 to 8 if I'm generous, and I'm feeling generous because 3 of the 4 matches were absolute runaway badass good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an 8, and that makes it top tier.
Yep. Excellent.
So that has been our coverage of WWE SmackDown. And I want to thank everybody who's listened to this episode and invite you to listen for our next episode, which should be our coverage of Monday Night Raw. Um, until then, I don't think there's much for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest AEW and WWE news and shows. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. Follow us on social media for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.